Hey everybody, Russ W. Oker, GoHillsTV, powered by JBS. Time for our post-game show tonight with Coach Hank and Davin Zeigler. The Warriors come out on top tonight over Carl Sandburg in a game that was close at times, but in the end the Warriors win at 96-68. We'll throw it over to Coach Hank for some opening thoughts on this one.
You know, I was a little bit worried that tonight could get a little sloppy because I wouldn't tell you we're completely over Saturday. So, you know, we got off to a good start and we thought we were just going to, I think, win by, 100. And looking, I mean, they just packed it in and kind of dared us to shoot, and our two best shooters took a lot of threes. And I don't even think they were bad threes. I mean, I guess Eddie and Taj go 9 for 34. I don't know, Dav, on fairly wide open threes, you know. I mean, I think maybe one of Eddie's I thought was a little bit off, maybe one or two of Taj's, but, you know, I mean, to win by a lot of points, and obviously those guys shot, you know, we've got to shoot the ball from three better. We've been a little bit struggling there, and I think it's hesitation more than anything. As weird as it sounds, I don't want them to shoot less. I just want them to kind of rise up there with some more confidence and swagger than they're doing. So, you know, if all of a sudden that number was 16 for 34, not only would obviously we have won by more, but our mojo would have been there a little bit. We would have been really rolling. We would have been feeling good about ourselves. So, you know, they play a kind of a weird zone defense that, you know, impacted in, and I think they were going to do that until we shot them out of it, and we never really did. We were trying to get inside and do some things. We played hard, and you know, I don't know. It sounds kind of a weird game, but obviously happy to get the win. You know, we probably, as a team, we probably need to get over Saturday. So it's not bad to have a game where we get back to the drawing board and we get back to work, because obviously we have a lot of season left.
Devin Ziegler joining us as well. Comment on his play tonight. He actually was hitting pretty well early at 24 tonight, and he hit some big three-pointers, which actually, by the numbers, last I checked, is our highest percentage shooting three-point shooter.
He is. I brought that up a couple times in practice, huh? So sometimes we run plays for Eddie or for Taj, and then we put Davin there. I go, guys, Davin's the best three-point shooter on the team, you know? And, hey, man, like, Davin's shooting the right ones. I mean, like, I was giving him a hard time, you know. I joked he's padding his stats because he wasn't. When we walked up the stairs, but he just played a very efficient game. I mean, DZ, 10 for 16, 6 assists, 0 turnovers. Like, that's a very efficient game right there, you know. I think our only goal for Dav going in was to have 0 turnovers tonight, and
yes, sir,
got that done. So no, I thought Davin played really well. I think he played aggressive, but at a controlled speed. Like, I mean, sometimes Davin's so fast and so quick that he just gets himself kind of going back and forth a little bit. And you want to play like that without the ball, but with the ball you want to be under control and efficient. And I thought he did a great job tonight.
Davin, of course, Coach touched on this, and everybody always touches on it. The trap game, or the game after a big game, can get away from you. You get the big win. Give us the player's perspective. I mean, obviously you're excited to play every game, but is it difficult to come back 2 days later after a game that can be emotionally draining like that one?
Yeah, it can be somewhat difficult. I mean, like, you wake up the next day after a game like that, and, you know, that's all you see on your phone is that game and that shot. So, you know, it's hard to, like, live that moment down and lock in for the next one. But, you know, it's a long season, you know, a lot of games, and we just had to get back to the drawing board and lock in for this game. And it wasn't pretty, it wasn't the best looking game, but it was the right outcome we wanted, and I feel like it just brought us back to reality a little bit.
Talk about your game a little bit. You had a great night, 24 points, no turnovers. Is there a point out there when you're kind of feeling it?
I could say I was feeling it a little bit probably after I think I made it 3 in the second half. I was like, okay, I'm hitting shots, but, you know, that's not my focus when I go out there. It's just to play hard, you know, make open shots, make the right play every time, and, you know, the right play was to score most of the time, and, you know, I took the right shots, and they went in tonight.
All right, you got the breakaway dunk. You know, we all love that. So as you're going in, it's just you in the basket. Are you deciding kind of what? I mean, you went with kind of the windmill. What are the options, and are you weighing that on the way to the hoop? Are you thinking about all your different options?
Yeah, when I got the steal, I looked up at the scoreboard. We were up by a lot. I was like, Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm pulling out.
Okay. All right. Is there can you do a reverse? Is there, what
Yeah, I got
what
that.
might we see next time in that scenario?
Y'all just have to wait and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do a
It'll be surprise.
360?
Yeah, it's easy.
If you do that, I'm guessing you better hit it though, right?
Most definitely. Yeah, that's the main
You were
focus.
50% on dunks tonight, weren't you?
Yeah, I was 50%.
50% on dunks.
All right, Coach, as far as this game goes, you get the win 96-68. You're going to be off now until Saturday. Is this a good time to have a little bit of stretch there? I mean, let the legs get back? Or would you
know.
rather just get right back out there?
No, it is what it is. So, I mean, we'll I think we've been on a fairly good run here. I think we're trying to stay sharp. We're trying to continue to, kind of get better and improve and figure out different ways to do that. So, I mean, maybe it is. I'm not really sure. I mean, if we had to play tomorrow, we'd play tomorrow. So obviously we have 3 more here: Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. So I mean, I think the focus is on just making sure we take care of business. So as obviously tonight was a little, I think we were in a rut a little bit as much as we've been recently. At the same time, I think kind of as a team, I think I don't know if we could play a game every day. I think we're about at the point where we just like playing. So. So I don't know. I mean, we'll take the break and we'll figure some stuff out for sure. But we have a big road game at Kankakee on Saturday, and I mean, I know we won by a lot of points here, but we beat Marshalltown by a lot of points here, and it was a 4-point game with a minute to go up there. So there's no lack of respect for Kankakee and what they're capable of, and they have a very good player that we held in check. We have to make sure we do that again next time. I think it's, we want to make sure that we're taking care of business. So I think we're always anticipating the games at this point. I don't think any of us would ever say we want a week off, just because I think we're at the point where we kind of like playing. So, but it is what it is, and we'll try to make sure on Saturday that we do the best we can do, because I think we're trying to come out with wins.
51-33 on the glass tonight. That usually bodes well, and indeed it did. I talked to their coach before the game. That was a concern for him, and we certainly made the most of the size difference and speed difference.
Yeah, we thought it could be a huge advantage, so it was a focus for us, and I thought the guys did a pretty good job at that for sure. I think we got some second chance points. I think they had 3 offensive rebounds. That's obviously one got knocked out of bounds, so that's a pretty good number. So yeah, I thought it was a focus point for us. We thought it could be an advantage, and it ended up being one of those tonight for us.
9 turnovers for us. That's a pretty good number. Is there a number as a coach that, if you're under 10 or under, that's not a bad night, right? Or is there a number that you like to see?
I don't know.
Other than 0, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think we really talk as much about that, because I want the guys to be aggressive. Like I thought Javon Hadley was too passive with the ball tonight, and there's mistakes that I want him to be aggressive, and at Southeastern I think he had 6 turnovers, but he had maybe 3 in the first half, but he's 5 for 5 shooting. Like you can't lose your. If you're being aggressive, just think if you're playing, in tennis I always see unforced errors, but the best players are still going to have some because they're trying to hit the best shot they can hit. You want to be aggressive, going to the basket. You don't want the turnovers to happen when nothing good comes out of it. If it's, I thought, Braxton was still coming down from his, from Saturday night a little bit, but I thought Braxton was getting the passes deflected because he wasn't attacking the rim. And sometimes when you attack it makes a mistake, but something good can come out of it. So I don't know, I don't really ever focus a ton. I don't think our team turns the ball over too much. I think there's a few here and there. I think I want Davin to be a professional point guard one day. So Davin can't have 4 or 5 turnovers in a game. For a guard, no matter what, you can't turn the ball over that many times, so I think for a point or for a combo or a ball handling type guy, yeah, if you get in the 4 or 5 range, that's just too many, because that's a little bit careless. But it's a risk reward thing. So
give us the latest on Isaiah Marin. I know he's completely cleared to play. We haven't seen a lot of him. Is that just easing him back, or is that just everything's going pretty well right now and he's going to have to figure out where to get his minutes?
No, I think Isaiah is an important part of our team. I mean, he's he was the best player on the floor when we beat John A. Logan earlier this year. I don't think there's any doubt about what Isaiah is capable of. So he's just working hard, just like everybody else. And and here we are, 3 games left. We're I mean, we play the guys that, I guess, that based on a combination of a lot of things that we think are going to help us win the game. And Isaiah's a very, very important part of our team. And shoot, he's a very, very important person to me. So I want him to do well, and I'm very confident that he will end the season on a very high note.
Leroy got in there, had some good minutes there, got a big dunk. Give us some, for the folks here and watching out there, tell us about Leroy and what what he can accomplish. And I guess it seems like you're bringing him along. He's got some maturing to do, but your assessment of Leroy and how he's coming along.
Leroy, if Leroy really just continues to work every day, obviously, Leroy has the potential to make more money than probably anybody that was in the gym tonight. If he really dedicates himself. I mean, it's hard to find 6'11", 7-foot guys that have soft touch, that have good hands, that can run the floor. Obviously he's got to get bigger and stronger. Sometimes the junior college game, when you have a bunch of small guys out there, it's hard for a 6'11", 7-foot guy to, because they kind of get grabbed constantly when we're on offense, and if they touch anybody, it's a foul. But Leroy, he has a very soft touch. He's super, super long. He can protect the rim and swallow guys up and want him to play straight up and down, not lean. Trust his length. Trust his size. He's a guy who can score at the rim. Obviously, he's got to get a little bit stronger. He can step out and shoot the ball. Leroy was on the floor, last possession of the John A. Logan game. Leroy, I think, played 12 or 14 minutes when he played Salt Lake. Leroy can do some things, and obviously where we're at here in game number 28, you got to be the best player for your current team. I tell our guys that. I tell our 18 guys that are playing Division I that. April, May, June, July, August, you work on your game, you develop your game. But as the later the season goes, if you want to, and in fact, you got to figure out where to fit in on your current team. And we have a lot of talented players. So, anybody that's minutes aren't really what they hope for right now, shoot. Every single person on our team has helped us win a big game this year. Every single person. There's not one guy on our team that's, and some years we say that, but really there is kind of one, wink, wink. There's one or two guys over there that struggles to kind of get in there. Every single player on our team has been on the floor in a crucial time in a big game this year. So when you start getting better and there's 12, 13 guys that are ready to go, I can't play 7 at once, so teams get better because the expectation goes up. And kind of in a game like that, early on in the year, you might rotate through and this and that, but shoot, I want that bar to stay high. There's no giving chances. Chances are earned by this point of the year, and we have what I think is a championship contender type team. And these guys will learn immensely from being part of this, because at Division I, it's a straight business, and coaches get paid to hired and fired for winning and losing games. So it's important to, on your current team, continue to figure out where you fit in. And to Leroy's credit, his attitude has been tremendous. I don't lack confidence in who Leroy is or who he's going to become. I think he has great upside, and we're very, very happy he's here. So, there's nobody on this team that I feel uncomfortable putting on the floor in a crucial situation. It's obviously each player's job to mentally get themselves and be ready for that moment, and to answer the bell and to produce and to help us win when they get that chance.
Warriors won it tonight, 96-68. Go to 22-5 on the year. Jump to number 7 in the rankings today. And we'll go to Kankakee on Saturday, and then back home here next Wednesday, and then wrap up the regular season home again a week from this Saturday with a great team to finish with. With Triton coming to town, that'll be a good finishing game. We've got 3 big ones left to go in the regular season to get ready for the postseason. That's going to do it for us tonight. Warriors win at 96-68. Davin Ziegler leads the way with 24. I'm Russ W. Oker, Go Hills TV. Thanks for watching.
Go Warriors!